SMH. My name is Gabby, and I am here with YouTube and Instagram sensation Bretman Rock. We're going to be answering your questions about social media stardom, building a personal brand, and the beauty that comes from embracing your true self. Hi, Bretman. Thanks so much for joining me today.
Yes. Okay.
Hi.
Hi, Miss HBIC. I did not know you were an HBIC.
Well, I'm just now finding that out too. So the first question is, you are best known for creating content on various platforms like Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat, and Vine when it still existed, RIP. And it showcases your personality and also teaches beauty tips. So Sean asks, since your personality kind of is your brand, how do you separate internet Bretman from real life Bretman?
Wow, girl, you gonna hit me with that first question. That is a really, really good question.
Mine, it was Sean's, but
with managing it, I feel like I always just have to remember that who I am online is not the person that I am in real life. I mean, they are both me. They both live in this being, and they are both. But I feel like for me, I have to think of Bretman Rock as a separate being just for my mental health, because I feel like once I tell myself I'm Bretman Rock, I'm always just going to just be like my internet persona, which is not that cute, really. If I'm like, if I'm like my internet self everywhere I go, girl, everyone's going.
Yeah, it would be tough. It's not necessarily like acting or like not being yourself. It's just kind of like playing up certain parts of yourself. You're also one of the few like hyper visible men in the beauty space. And so Anna asks, have you ever struggled with what other people like think of you or felt any types of pressure? And how do you deal with that?
To be honest with you, I grew up in a family who accepted me for who I was really, really young. And I was always encouraged to be gay. Literally, my grandma was like, Brett, you just gotta be gay. Like, you know, like and that's fortunate for me because I never even really had to come out to my family. So a lot of like my willpower and like strength, all just because of my family, they gave me my powers. And so with that and with the pressure, I honestly just carry myself like I'm that bitch. Like I carry myself around like I am the standards of beauty. So if you don't think I'm cute, that's cool, because you ain't in my standards. You know what I mean?
That's on you.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and I am not holding you.
And that's it. Social media is a really interesting phenomenon that I could talk about for hours, but I will just say that for a lot of students, myself included, it's kind of a place to go to like relax or have a few laughs or whatever, but you obviously have to approach those platforms quite differently when it's your job. And so Tasha wants to know, what's the hardest thing about being an influencer?
I think compared to everyone has a job, and there's good and bad things with everyone's work. I would say the first thing that really comes to mind when people are like, what's the hardest part about your job? I always be like, people are mean as hell. People are mean as hell. And especially when you grow up on social media, like my whole adolescence is in social media. And so being judged by your mistakes, being judged by how you're raised, being judged by your environment, girl, you have to have thick skin. And so I think the hardest part about my job is really just reminding myself to be strong and like not listen to like these random people who I will probably never meet in my life or care about me in the first place. So
it's a tough career, but in many ways, I think also like every cloud has a silver lining. And you're also known for kind of spreading positivity to your viewers and preaching positivity. So Wendy wants to know, how do you stay so positive?
I'm gonna try to answer this as humbly as I can. Girl, I live in Hawaii, and it's really easy to stay positive when you are in such a positive place. Like I've lived in Hawaii my whole entire life, and we are taught at such a young age to spread aloha and what the true meaning of aloha is, which is not just hello, hi. I mean, hello and goodbye. It also means love. And so for me, how do I stay positive? I try to be as optimistic as I can, and remember like how blessed I am, and I get to live my dream every day, and I have everything I have because of like my followers. And so I try to like return the favor of like me getting to live my dream by just spreading my positivity with people. I just want people to just come to my page and just like at least get a chuckle, you know?
If nothing else, it's like Bretman's gonna make me
Yeah,
smile today.
yeah.
And on a similar note, China wants to know what's one thing that you look forward to every single day?
I actually look forward to greeting my followers every day. Like I do this thing every day where I'm like, good motherfucking morning, bitch. And I actually look forward to that. Like people ask me all the time, like, why do you never take breaks as an influencer? Because I literally live in a vacation home. So I stay on break, girl. Because if you stay on break, you don't gotta get on break. And like literally, I love what I do. This is all I know. And like I love entertaining people. So it really genuinely feeds my soul and it makes me feel less lonely when I have someone to say good morning to every day.
It's nice to have someone to say good morning to. On kind of the flip side of that, social media, like we just talked about, is a great place to connect with people that you relate to and find positive content and stuff. But as we touched on a little bit earlier, it can also kind of be a breeding ground for like unnecessary negativity. So
Mhm.
Natalie wants to know, how do you deal with like the negative parts of social media, like when you get hate comments or bullying or things like that?
I learned really quickly, especially because I was doing this since I was in high school. And there was days where I literally went to school, like literally bawling, crying, sad, just from like reading the comments. But really, you have to think of haters like as a ghost. Like really, like you really could choose if you want to see them or not. You know what I mean? It's up to you if you want to open your third eye. And by that I mean it's up to you if you want to read your comments. And I guess for a lack of a better answer and word, like I try my best not to check my like comments because I could have like 5,000 people saying I look cute, but it takes one person to call me ugly for me to believe that one person. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I'm the
And
same way.
so,
Like 10 people tell me I'm great, and I'm like, okay. And then one person's like, you could improve in this way. And I'm like,
yeah, it's always obvious stuff too. And it's like people are like, oh, I don't even see it as hate anymore. It's like, oh, you're gay. Duh, bitch. What do you want me to say to that?
like,
Like
correct.
when people like comment you're gay is like they're asking like they're saying it as if like they discovered something. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, that's the I am gay. Like what?
yeah. And like, is that supposed to be an insult? Like, that's just like, okay.
Okay.
um, so when you are your own boss on social media, it's kind of up to you to like manage your workload and get everything done on time and whatever. So Yan Yan asks, how do you stay motivated?
I am really not a motivated person. I am I like because there's a difference between a motivated person and a disciplined person. I just am very disciplined, but I'm not a motivated person, bitch. I will complain to the ground before I do anything, but I just keep telling myself you gotta do it. You have to do it. This is like your dream, you know? And like if you're not gonna do it, someone else is gonna claim your dream. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, and I have to do it because these things don't happen. Like some opportunities don't happen for people like me. Like for Asians, especially like queer, like some opportunities that I wish for my whole entire life, like really just get handed to people. Yeah, sometimes I'm a bitch and sometimes I be lazy, but I really think to myself like this don't happen for people like me. So it's either I do it or someone else is gonna do it. So
That
yeah,
is very, very good advice and very like profound advice. Something that keeps me motivated personally is surrounding myself with people that I look up to and that kind of keep me going. And on that note, Sabrina wants to know, who are your role models?
I have many role models in my life. Most of them are women. My grandma is probably my number one muse of all time. That woman put makeup on me for my first time ever. She gave me all of my witch powers that I think I have because she was a witch of herself. And um, so yeah, it would have to be all of the women in my life, from my grandma to obviously my mom, to my sister, and even to like my little niece. Like those, like female is what I look up to as a gay man, really.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of my like major role models are women as well, both in my family and outside.
Mhm.
And I want to touch on something that you brought up earlier, which is that you started your social media career when you were still in high school. And both you and the internet were very, very different back then.
And
So
yeah,
who
we
wants
were
to
both
know
young.
what you would tell your 18-year-old self?
Oh my God, bitch, you're gonna make me cry. Don't.
Sorry. It's joy. It's joy. But I love joy. So
I would just say to just keep this going. I would just tell myself, you are on the right path. You're probably questioning everything right now and your career, you as a person, what if you're even gonna go to college after this, you're probably questioning, what's next. And I would just tell myself, just keep going because the internet's probably on your ass right now and you just have to keep going because there's so many more doors for you to open. There's so many more people, there's so many more people for you to meet, and there's so many more videos for you to make. So
very
that's what I would tell myself is just keep going because that's probably what my 15, 18-year-old self would want to hear right about now.
like you're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
On a kind of a similar note, I have two more questions, and they were both asked by multiple people. So the students really want to know, but no pressure.
Yeah.
What would you tell someone who is maybe struggling to find like a career path or a life path that works for them?
When you guys get out into this world, you are going to meet so many bitter ass old bitches that's telling you that you are too young. Like the way our generation thinks, it's so much more different and so much more progressive than how older people fucking think. And so you guys need to realize that there's so much power in your youth, in your ideas, in our fresh ideas. And so once y'all realize that like we are what the world needs right now is like just fresh minds, because I'm really tired of like this old ways of thinking. I can't believe people are still even like homophobic these days. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like it's checks watch, like it's 2021.
Like,
Totally.
girl, we're not gonna go anywhere. We've been like gay people have soared this planet since the beginning of time. There's probably gay dinosaurs, bitch.
I'm sure there
So
were. They were on
I'm saying,
once upon a time.
right.
The
So, yeah.
last question I have for today is how do you build and maintain confidence?
Confidence is not it's not a personality trait. You know what I mean? People don't realize that I'm not always confident. It's not a lifestyle. I'm not always confident. It's a feeling. And people don't realize that my confidence as well, like turns on and off. And that's fine. Cause I have my own insecurities as well. But for me, I just fucking own all of my insecurities, girl. Like I used to hate my big nose. Now it's my favorite part about my face. You know what I mean? And like, just to go back to your first question, I just told myself that I am the standards of beauty because, girl, I didn't even like my big lips. And now guess everybody's getting fillers. I didn't like my thick eyebrows. Now everyone's going out thick eyebrows. You know what I mean? So really, like, no matter how ugly you feel about yourself, you are somebody's beauty standard. Somebody wants to look like you, period.
There's only one you. Be yourself.
Yeah.
Everyone else is taken.
I would be so
um,
mad if I woke up at 3010 and everybody looked like me. Bitch, girl, I'm gonna be so mad.
I'd be mad, right? That's all the questions I have for you today, or that students have for you today. But before I let you go, I did want to open up the floor and just ask if there's anything that you wanted to like plug or anything you wanted to bring up that I didn't mention. The floor is yours.
Well, I'm working on a lot of things, and if I plug it, we would be here for hours.
Right.
So
So
just follow me on all of my social media, and I can't wait to read this.
Bretman, thank you so much again for joining us today. I know our students are so stoked to hear what you have to say, and this chat really brightened up my day. On behalf of Ignite, happy summer, happy Pride, and happy posting. And to all the students out there, be sure to follow @ShareIgnite on Instagram and Twitter for all things student life.